Go ahead, you can cry. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 saddest moments in Telltale Games titles. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're trudging through the tragic and melancholic moments that Telltale has offered in some of their best titles, including the deaths of beloved characters, or those moments that make everything feel utterly hopeless. Therefore, a spoiler warning is now in effect.
Rubbish goes out on Tuesday, and there's lasagna in the freezer. I'm sure you'll manage.
Number 10, the fate of Clementine's parents. The Walking Dead.
Clementine, baby. If you can hear this, call the police. That's 911.
Before Lee stumbled into Clementine's house, the little girl was left alone with a babysitter while her parents went on a trip to Savannah. Once the outbreak was in bloom, however, Clem's parents never came back, and her babysitter soon became a walker. When Lee showed up, he promised to look after Clem until she and her parents reunited again, though the odds of them surviving were pretty slim. In the season finale, while Clem and Lee waded through a herd of walkers, our most tragic theories were confirmed. Clem's parents became walkers, roaming mindlessly in a sea of the undead, unable to remember the daughter they loved and left behind.
Anyway, he's not feeling well enough to drive back tonight, so we're staying an extra day. Thanks so much for looking after Clementine, and I promise we'll be back in time before your spring break.
Number 9, Sam the Dog. The Walking Dead Season 2.
It's okay, boy. It's okay.
While traveling alone through the woods, Clementine comes across a hungry dog named Sam. Sam leads Clem back to an abandoned campsite, revealing that his owners may not have survived, and the two bond a little. When Clem finds food, however, a hungry and desperate Sam attacks her, forcing her to fight back, leading to Sam getting impaled. Clem has the hard choice to either put him down or leave him to bleed out, whimpering in agony. Her encounter with Sam is a fitting yet tragic representation of life in the post-apocalyptic world. Desperation for food can bring out the worst in even the friendliest of creatures, a lesson that follows her for years.
Hey, see you and Rosie are making friends.
Had a bad experience with the dog once.
Number 8, One Heroic Lagomorph. Sam and Max, the Devil's Playhouse.
If I was, I'd say something like, how do you keep an idiot in? Oh, I don't feel so good, Sam.
After finally mastering his strange psychic powers, Max has been accidentally transformed into a giant, rampaging monster, and aside from Sam and a select few, the world wants to take him down, including his own brain. With his head ready to explode, he teleports into space to avoid taking out all of New York, and the little glimmer of hope in bringing him back dissipates. This unusually grim episode brought out a more heroic side to the normally zany, irrepressible Max, but at a tragic cost, as Sam is left all alone without his little buddy while we mourn the loss of one half of the freelance police. Thankfully not forever.
Oh, hi, Sam.
Number 7, Scooter's Final Ride. Tales from the Borderlands.
Can't do step 2 without step 1, right?
No.
Guess my arms aren't quite as long as I thought.
While in space, Fiona and Scooter have to try and lose their ship's malfunctioning rocket thrusters before they explode. While Fiona successfully detaches her thruster, Scooter unfortunately gets his arm stuck in his, and it won't budge. Fiona tries to pull him loose, but it's no use. Despite her protests, Scooter knows that the lives of others outweigh the life of one lone mechanic, and he's willing to take one for the crew. After one last heartfelt sentiment, Fiona reluctantly releases Scooter's rocket, and the mechanic catches one last ride towards oblivion. Before they take off, Fiona can leave behind one last gift, honoring the memory and sacrifice of our favorite space cowboy. Number 6, Deporting Toad and T.J. The Wolf Among Us.
Do we have to go? I want to stay here.
Well, we don't have a choice anymore.
If you're a fable and you can't afford a glamour to disguise yourself as a human, you have to be shipped off to the farm. One fable, Mr. Toad, can't afford a glamour, which puts him and his son TJ at risk of being deported. He's not the friendliest or most honest amphibian, but he mostly just wants what's best for his boy, but life's dealt him a bad hand. Sheriff Bigby can offer to help Toad rather than ship him off right there, but it won't do any good. Poor Toad and TJ are forced to leave their home no matter what Bigby says. Unfortunately, some things are out of our hands.
Dad, the lights are shaking again.
What did I say? You want a big bad wolf to take you away?
No.
Number 5, Reuben's Death. Minecraft Story Mode.
Remember how we used to play fetch?
Since the beginning, Reuben was Jesse's pet pig, as loyal and dependable as any dog. In the final duel with the Witherstorm, Reuben fetches Jesse's sword to finally end this nightmare, but he slips and plunges into the caverns below. When we find him after the battle, he's too mortally wounded and dies surrounded by his best friend and comrades. It's weird to feel this much sadness for an animal you'd normally kill for food, but Reuben was more than just your average swine. He stuck by us until the end and helped save the world, and Jesse vows to make sure that this brave piglet is never forgotten.
He was a hero. He saved everybody.
Number 4, Goodbye Handsome Jack. Tales from the Borderlands.
I'm proud of you, kid. You didn't stop at anything to kill me.
Just when we thought we've seen the last of Handsome Jack, he returns as an AI inside the mind of his biggest fan, Reese. Eventually, Reese tries to force Jack out of his head by graphically ripping out his own cybernetic implants. Near the end, Jack is on his hands and knees pathetically pleading for his life. Reese always wanted to follow in Jack's footsteps, but finally sees the real face of his former idol. A sad, psychotic loser, desperate for the power he lost upon his death. In the end, his groveling can't save him, and Reese can decide whether to keep Jack trapped in the AI chip or permanently rid the world of him. Number 3, No Going Back Endings. The Walking Dead Season 2.
I didn't kill him! It was an accident, Kenny!
In the Season 2 finale, Clementine is left traveling with newcomer Jane, Kenny from Season 1, and a little baby, AJ, and tensions are high between Jane and Kenny. Things soon evolve into an all-out brawl when Jane pulls a twisted trick to show that Kenny can't be trusted, which leads Clem to make the awful choice: shoot Kenny or let him kill Jane. Neither results in a happy ending. Kenny snaps and murders a misguided woman in blind fury, or Jane's twisted plan causes you to put down one of your oldest friends. Afterwards, Clem can either stay with the survivor until next season, or take AJ and go off to face the world alone. Number 2, One of Us Has to Stay. Game of Thrones.
The gate will fall without one of us holding it. One of us has to stay.
During an ambush against the White Hills, Asher and Roderick Forrester are this close to the gates of freedom, but only one of the brothers can escape. Whoever stays behind will give it their all, fighting enemy soldiers left and right, before they're finally outpowered and slain gruesomely. Face it, in a Game of Thrones video game, death is pretty much guaranteed. However, what really makes this one so heartbreaking is that you have to decide which brother gives their life. While the chosen brother's story ends, the survivors will go on into the finale, as they struggle to avenge their fallen family by any means.
Iron from ice, brother. Iron from ice.
Number 1, Clementine and Lee's Goodbyes. The Walking Dead.
You're strong, Clem. You can do anything.
But I'm little.
Ever since they met, Lee has acted like a second father to Clementine, protecting, caring, and even teaching her how to survive. However, tragedy strikes when Lee gets bitten by a walker, and despite his best efforts to delay turning, he only gets worse. In the final scene of the season, there's only two options left. Clem can either shoot Lee out of mercy or get away to safety and leave him to be reanimated as a walker. Whatever Lee suggests, it teaches Clem one of the hardest lessons she'll need to know on her long journey of survival: how to say goodbye to those you've come to love.
I'll miss you.
Me too.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.